For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise. And you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble. Thanks for tuning in at thescribbleshow.com and on SoundCloud and iTunes. Did you catch that? I forgot what our website address was. It's way too early in the morning for me to be thinking properly, and I'll tell you what's going on today. In the next 30 minutes, we're taking you from Canada to the United States, back to Canada, again, all in 30 minutes. Here's what's going on. Dreams Take Flight, Air Canada's incredible initiative. It actually happens across the country, taking kids on a one-day journey to Disney. So in this instance, we're going to Florida. We're going to Disney World, and I'm about to leave my house. It's like 2:30 in the morning here, and again, through the magic of radio and podcasting, we can piece it all together and make it almost real time, although, you know, that's like time travel if we're going to get to Florida in under 30 minutes. So we're going to talk with one of the moms at the airport, we're going to talk with the kids while they're in Orlando, we're going to talk with the president of the organization, and then we're going to get back to Winnipeg. Can you believe that? All in 30 minutes. And first, you know what I just realized? So it's Winnipeg, Manitoba. We always have to say Canada because I guess people don't realize that Manitoba is not a state in the U.S. But then when it comes to cities, I would just say Orlando, Florida. I wouldn't say Orlando, or they actually say Winnipeg, Canada is what the Americans say. And we do love our American listeners and our friends in the South. But yeah, right? It's always Winnipeg, Canada, Toronto, Canada, Vancouver, Canada, Edmonton, Canada. So I'm going to start saying that. Orlando, United States. It just doesn't seem right, but whatever. All right, so we do love our friends at Disney and Disney World and the city of Orlando, of course, so we're going to get right into it. So I'm going to throw to myself live at the airport. Are you ready? All right. Jeremy Bradley is joining us from the airport in Winnipeg to tell us more. Jeremy Bradley here, live at the Winnipeg airport, barely awake. But the energy here is, it's just ecstatic. The kids are bouncing off the walls. I've got Preston's mom here. Why don't you say hello, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Preston's mom. My name's Eileen. I already had my caffeine, so I am bouncing off the walls as well. But we're all excited.
Now, Eileen, we talked a couple weeks ago at the meet and greet, and that's when we got we had the performance by Fred Penner. I mean, that
awesome.
Really, yeah.
He was unbelievable. That's something, like, the kids can get involved and sing along, and I remember seeing that at Teddy Bear's picnic. Mm-hmm. So these kids to get that opportunity, that was big.
What was cool, though, is that you've got all these different generations. I know there were some grandparents at meet and greet, there were parents, and then the kids. You know, so my 6-year-old nephew knows the songs. I'm 33, I know the songs. My mom is 60, she knows this. Oh, she's 45, sorry. Oh, no, I did that wrong. Oh, we're going to bleep that. We'll bleep that. That's fine. Oh, no.
Sorry, Mom. I won't be home at Christmas.
I'm not coming back from Florida is what's going on. That's what's going to happen. She's going to my house to let out the dogs today, so we'll...
It's okay. We all know you're 46.
She's 45, I said. 45. Look at that. She's aging you. She is aging you, Mom, not me. All right. But let's talk about Dreams Take Flight. First off, how did you get involved? How did you hear about the organization?
We heard about the organization, my husband and I, last year when our daughter got nominated through the Canadian Armed Forces. So what we went through was the Military Family Resource Center. Her name was Diane Bryan, and she gave us an opportunity to let our daughter kind of venture out, and she had done a lot of volunteering. And we took her on the trip last year, and our son, who has Asperger's autism, came for the whole process, and he says, well, Mom, I really want to go. What do I have to do to go? So we went and we talked with Diane, and she said, well, Preston, if you really want to go, and this is something you want to do, and Disney's a big experience, you're going to have to mature, and you're going to have to age, you're going to have to listen. And he said, okay, if I do all that, can I go next year? And she says, we'll see. You put in your application. So he waited a whole year. We put in our application, and he got picked to go.
I think that's actually a really good learning experience for kids too, right? If you want to aim for this, you know, you work on that year and mature and grow up and be a little man, and that'll, you know, who knows where it'll take you.
Well, the autism spectrum too is such a large spectrum that people don't understand. Mm-hmm. There's a very high functioning value to it. So for a kid like him, he spent most of the time one-on-one the year before. Mm-hmm. This year he's fully in the classroom, with the other kids, with the teacher. So for him, it really gave him something to strive for, a goal to look forward to. And with them, everything's goal-orientated, a task to do. So this program really gave him some hope for that.
Now, a few weeks ago at the meet and greet, we were talking about how today is a day for kids to be a kid because they don't see that maybe this child has a disability. This one doesn't have...
They don't see anything, but this is fun. This is friends. You get their phone numbers. You can get their emails. My daughter still talks to the girls from her group from last year. And you have a really good mix, and they're not labeled. There's no label. What they are is they're known as, this is Preston, and you can have John, and you can have Steve, and that's just who they are. There's no stigma here, which is such a beautiful thing.
Well, and that's the one refreshing thing about kids, right, is that they don't know, they don't get it, and that's great. We wish they would stay that way, but society, unfortunately, it changes the way. You mentioned, we should explain, there's 2 Prestons in this group. That's
yes, we do. We have a Preston G and we have a Preston H. Apparently it's alphabetical this year. Didn't know. Very uncommon, but he's really happy about that. He thinks it's great.
Well, you were saying that, they got here. What time did you get here, first off?
3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning. Did anybody sleep? Who slept more, Preston or Mom?
I didn't sleep at all.
Oh.
Because you have to be on that mom duty. So when you're getting them up at 12, but then you're putting the other kids to bed, and then you have a husband that's got to get up at 6 in the morning for military, I kind of have to take that swing shift. So I'm on the 0 sleep till he gets on the plane, other kids go to school.
Now what's cool, though, is that even though it's very early in the morning here, you were saying the kids, like best buds, as soon as everybody saw each other this morning?
Yeah, if they get to know each other in the group, meeting is really important because it sets that boundary of, I'm going to run and I'm going to play, and then they start talking. It's the ride, it's the mountain ride, Space Mountain, it's that excitement. So when they get here, that plan kind of starts to take effect, and now they're ready to get on that plane. So for them, that friendship is already in progress when they get here, which is really important for them.
Any chances of you maybe volunteering next year? Because I know that the parents can sometimes go along with other trips next year.
Parents can go on trips. Parents can volunteer. I chose to give my spot to Preston's one-on-one worker. That's why I'm not going this year. I do other volunteer work. I work with autism kids, and I do, hi, buds. I do training for service dogs for them. So for me, I'm quite busy all the time. I actually have 5 puppies at home right now.
Here's Mr. Man. Do you want to say hi? Preston is here. Hello again. Nice to see you.
It's great to be here.
You're excited about today, right?
Yes.
Okay, now a couple weeks ago I asked you which Disney character you were looking forward to meeting, and there were a few of them that you wanted to meet. Do you remember who you told me?
The Army Men.
Right. And why do you want to meet them so badly?
Because they're good. They're the best actors in the scene of Toy Story.
Right. And then there's a whole bunch of rides at Disney today. Have you heard of some of them? Do you know which ones you want to go on?
Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain.
Splash Mountain's kind of scary because towards the end it goes really high and then you go whipping right down and then you get splashed. You're okay with getting wet there?
Yes.
Okay. I think you cut your hair since I saw you last, or no?
He did. He did the military shave for today because he knows it's going to be hot and he wanted to look just like his dad. So he did the whole military buzz. So he's ready for the heat. He's ready for water. You can throw anything at him. He's ready to go.
You're ready for snow. We got snow yesterday here in Winnipeg.
I'm ready for this hot sun.
Exactly.
Hot sun.
That's right. And we're going to have a good time, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to let you go play with your friends.
One more word.
Sure.
Yes.
Thanks so much. All right, well, thank you, Mom, as well. And I don't want to brag, but we're going to have a good time, and you're going to enjoy the snow here.
I know. Then I'll see you at 1 in the morning when you're tired and I got a nap.
That's right. You'll be bouncing.
Fair is fair.
Bring your
You chase my child. I'm going to take a nap.
Bring your football pom-poms when we come.
Crack them out.
All right, so it's kind of crazy to think that we're going from Winnipeg to Florida back to Winnipeg all in like under 24 hours.
Yeah. And then when you take the time change too, it's the longest day you'll ever have, but it feels like the shortest because you still want to keep going and they want to keep seeing everything. You'll never get to see everything in one trip.
No, definitely. So if you could sum up this experience as a mom in one word, what would it be? And then as a kid?
I think as a mom, for me, it's proud. Because this is he's never been away from either one of us.
That's right, you mentioned that. So this is
huge. So for me to actually let go and say, I trust in something is very hard to do. When you have a really great program like this that really secures that fact and says, no, your child's going to be fine, I feel okay. So this is the first time ever.
Well, and I think having the meet and greet and mingling with everybody, meeting the kids, meeting the other parents too, right?
It really does help, but you still have to sit back and go, I got to let him be a kid, and I got to not show that. I got to show him I'm happy and I'm proud, but deep down inside, you always fear a little bit.
There's a banana walking by here at the airport. I think that's a banana, right?
Banana! Yes!
We're going bananas already. We haven't even left yet. Well, we're going to be live tweeting all day, actually, at SF Celeb Watch, so you can check that out. And we'll have dreams.jbonair.com as the pages are updated throughout the day. So thanks so much for joining. All right. Well, you'll have to follow on Twitter.
You're
on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter.
We're gonna tweet up a storm here, and we're going to get back to the music on top of the charts and the open road, and we're going to take a commercial break on the Scribble.
JB here. I almost want to like throw back to myself, right, and go, all right, that's it from here. Back to you, JB. Thanks, JB. No, then I'm gonna be schizophrenic is what's gonna happen. So there we are. We just heard from a nervous mom there at the airport before her son takes off, leaves the country. He's leaving the country with a bunch of strangers. Now, of course, Air Canada, great people. Everybody is very, very excited about the trip, and everybody is ensuring the safety of the kids, and everybody just wants to have a good time. So, of course, I do need to underline that point as well. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up into the air and talk to some of the girls on the plane.
Well, Jeremy Bradley here on the plane, getting ready for Dreams Take Flight. We're heading to Orlando, and I've got a bunch of really cool kids with me. It's a little bit loud here on the plane, but I'm going to have you introduce yourselves. What's your name and how old are you?
Hi, my name's Kiana and I'm 10 years old. Hi, I'm Alyssa and I'm 12 years old.
Okay, so, Alyssa, you're saying you've never been on a plane before. You haven't flown anywhere.
No.
And you're a little bit nervous, but you know this is going to be a fun flight.
Yeah. I'm lucky if I don't, pass out or, yeah.
We're just listening to some Disney characters and tunes on the... Do you know this song?
Philosophy, Hakuna Matata.
We're going to go to a break because if we play any more of this song, we're going to have to pay for it. So we'll be right back after this.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
All right, Jeremy Bradley here, back on the airplane heading to Disney World in Orlando, and I've got my new friends here. You know, we were talking before we took off. You're a little bit scared. Some of us were scared before the flight, but things are okay now, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's introduce ourselves again, your name and your age.
My name's Kiana and I'm 10 years old. My name's Alyssa and I'm 12 years old.
Okay, Alyssa, so I know that you are a little bit nervous about the plane. It was pretty cool, though, when we take off. The feeling is, once we get into the air, pretty cool, right?
Right. It's awesome.
So not as scary as you first thought.
Yeah. Because when we were going straight up in the air and I had that feeling that I was, going to fall back, I felt that the plane was going to crash when we started going. Then once we started moving, I felt that more safe that we could be on the plane more.
Right. Now I know you were telling me before we took off that you had gone to Arizona, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And were you nervous going on that plane or no?
No, because I was littler, so I didn't really understand that I was in the sky and stuff.
Okay. So have either of you been to Disney before? You obviously,
No.
if you haven't flown, no? Okay. So are there any Disney characters that you want to meet today?
Well, obviously Stitch, because Stitch is my life. Besides Green. Green's my life, too.
Right. And you?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody from Toy Story?
Okay, cool. Now there's a whole bunch of crazy rides to go on. I'm sure you've heard of some of them.
No, I haven't heard of any of them, but I like rides that give you the butterflies and shoot you down to the ground, but you think you're gonna land on the ground, but you're not.
Okay, so ones that spin around. What about going upside down? Are you cool with going upside down?
Oh, yeah. Well, I haven't gone on an upside down ride, but I'm willing to try it.
Okay. What about, there's one called Splash Mountain. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't, but I think Kiana has.
You did?
Yeah, I've heard of it. My brother went on it when I wasn't born yet, and he said it was really fun, but he got soaked.
You do, you get soaking wet. So towards the end of the ride, you're up really high, and then all of a sudden you go, whew, and that's where it splashes, and you get really, that's the one right there, yeah. We're holding a pamphlet of Magic Kingdom and the ride, and you get soaking wet as you're coming down because it just splashes everywhere.
Yeah, me and Kiana are sitting in the front.
In the front?
Yeah, and we're gonna go straight down.
But what's also really cool about this, though, too, is that the people that are standing that aren't on the ride and they're watching, they get soaking wet, too.
Yeah, I know. It's exactly like the Niagara Falls at the X.
Yeah.
It's very fun. But last year I fell into the water, and it took like 6 people to get me out of the water.
Yeah. So it's a long day. Did you guys sleep last night or no?
Well, I didn't want to, but I ended up falling asleep, and I didn't want to admit to it.
No. Have you fallen asleep on the plane yet going there so far?
Nope.
Not yet? You?
15 minutes of sleep.
Do you feel recharged? Are you good to go, or do you need another little nap?
I'm
Play it by
okay.
ear. I think there's going to be a long flight home that you guys can sleep, and yeah, you'll need the rest.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us. Have fun today, guys.
We will.
Yeah, bye.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
I'm still just laughing to myself that I'm basically hosting the one podcast from 2 countries, one in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and the other in Orlando, Florida, and it's me in both places at the same time. Not that you're just tuning in, because it's not like radio where you can tune in and out. You've been listening from the beginning. We are still talking about Air Canada's Dreams Take Flight trip that just happened on Wednesday. If you're tuning into this on April 8th, Friday, when we normally upload the show, you can see the pictures at dreams.jbonair.com. I have to do a quick shout out to our friends at Panago Pizza. We can get great pizza, salads, lots of great food there at Panago. So our friends in Canada, if there's a Panago in your city, I highly recommend you order from them and give them a shot. Gourmet pizza at its finest, I must say. Thank you so much to all the support from Panago Pizza as well. Now, here's what's really cool. We were doing our shows, Top of the Charts and The Open Road, live from Orlando. This is sort of now a secondary project, is this live edition of the podcast from there. And we have a little bit of a disclaimer before the live show that says, let me get the wording actually correct, if I can just pull it up on my screen or have somebody flash it up to me. Where basically we sort of say, this is live, stuff happens, so just, be careful. Here it is. The following is a live presentation, and despite our best efforts, anything can happen. Listener discretion is advised. So we're just coming out of a music set, and I'm just about to go and say, we're back live from Orlando, and I'm doing it. I've got my speech, my spiel down, and then all of a sudden there's a firework boom, and I kind of let a bleep moment happen. And it was just funny because you're not supposed to swear at the happiest place on earth. You know that, right? So it was just kind of funny. And then I flashed back to when we were on the air in Orlando several years ago doing a travel tourism broadcast, and a bird, and I don't care for birds, but they're very fond of people there. It flew right in front of me as I was just about to talk. I think we were mid-segment, and it just scared the poop out of me, and I had a bit of a moment. I didn't swear at the time, but it was just like, oh my. And now, of course, the beauty of radio is that people don't see what's happening. Like, if that was a TV moment, okay, people would get it, but it's just me talking, and so it sounds like, what's happening to this guy? What is going on? It was a bird that flew in front of me, and yes, that is enough to freak me out. All right, so we heard from the girls on the plane on the way to Orlando. Now we're on the ground at Disney World. Let's talk to some of the guys.
Jeremy Bradley back here live at Disney World in Orlando, Florida. A little bit noisy here, but there are tons of people. The weather is great. I've got another little co-host with me. Why don't you introduce yourself? How old are you? What's your name?
My name's Dakota. I am age 9.
Okay, Dakota, so I've got to ask, is this your first time at Disney?
Yes.
Yeah, are you having fun?
Yes.
Okay, so what were you thinking last night? Were you able to sleep? What were you thinking about this trip? Were you excited?
I wasn't able to sleep.
No? Okay, what were you looking forward to the most? What ride? Or did you want to meet a character?
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain. And have we gone on that yet?
No.
No. So what do you think it's going to be? Scary? Fun? Crazy?
Amazing.
Amazing, okay. And then we went on Splash Mountain, right?
Yeah.
How'd you think? What did you think of that one?
Best one yet.
Best one yet, okay. But not until Space Mountain, then that'll be the one. All right. We're going to go back on the rides, okay?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. We've got dreams.jbonair.com with all of the fun for Dreams Take Flight, Air Canada's amazing initiative. Check it out, dreams.jbonair.com. dreamsdreamsdreams.com.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
Jeremy Bradley here, back live in Orlando, Florida for Air Canada's Dreams Take Flight. We've got all the coverage, the pictures, the fun at dreams.jbonair.com. I'm tired, so I'm just going to hand it over to my kid co-host. You want to take it? Go ahead. Sum up what we did today. What's going on? What happened? We went on Splash Mountain how many times?
4.
And then Space Mountain.
Twice.
That was pretty good. I think somebody peed a little bit. I'm not going to mention any names. Might have been me, but yeah. What was your favorite ride today?
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain? That was kind of scary, though. So if people haven't gone on that, describe it. It's pretty much like pitch black, right? It's dark. You go up and down.
You're up and down.
And you go on the side.
Everywhere.
And you scream a little bit. Put your arms in the air. And so that's pretty cool. And you made a bunch of friends today, too, right? Or I guess a couple weeks ago. But a bunch of kids. So it's a pretty good experience, isn't it, for one day? Do you think you're going to fall asleep on the plane? Or you're pretty tired. You said that you're hungry. It smells really good here, too, hey? It's good smells here at Disney. So, all right, again, it's dreams.jbonair.com, and we're tired, we're pooped, but we're ready to go home.
Oh, the kids are great. You know what? I thought that I had energy. I'm 33 years old, and I've got to tell you a quick story because I was joking with the guys saying, you know what, you guys, it's great that you want me to go on every ride with you, but I'm old and I can't do this. You guys have a good time. I'll go on as many as I can. And when I said that I was old, one of the kids asked me how old I am, and I said, well, I'm 33. And he said, no way. You only look like you're 20. And it wasn't even in a butt-kissy kind of way. It was like genuine, oh, you only look like you're 20. And so, of course, that was my new best friend at Dreams Take Flight in Orlando, and no, it was just great. So yeah, a bunch of great kids that I was hanging out with for the day. And again, we've got all of the coverage at dreams.jbonair.com. Can't tell you how fun it was to have a pillow fight on the airplane on the way to Orlando. We've got the video of that, and also the VIP welcome that the kids get as they step off the airplane, because they're not just going through the airport terminal and, you know, having to go and collect luggage and things like that. I want you to check out the all-star welcome they get. So dreams.jbonair.com, a full day of fun that we've got on there, dreams.jbonair.com. Now, as the trip wrapped up, I talked with Preston once again to hear his thoughts on the day.
Well, Jeremy Bradley here live again in Orlando, Florida on the Dreams Take Flight adventure. I'm here with my buddy Preston. We've been going on all the rides today.
Yes, maybe.
Okay. So I gotta ask you, do you remember all the ones that we went on? Do you remember all their names?
Water Mountain, Thunder Mountain, Space Mountain, some other mountain thing.
Okay, which one was the scariest?
Space Mountain!
And
Never go on that.
Oh, come on, we had fun. And what was the most fun?
Splash Mountain.
Because we went on that probably about 30 times, right?
We went on it 4 times.
We went on quite a few times. And then you bought a bunch of stuff at the store, too. What did you get to take home?
A giant lollipop.
And that's a really big lollipop. How long do you think it's going to take you to eat it all?
I think my tongue will start to bleed.
So pace yourself. You have to do it over maybe like a week or so. Okay. So when you see your mom and dad when you get to the airport, what are you going to tell them about the trip first? What are you going to say?
I'm going to say I got an American $1 bill.
That's right. What are you going to spend that on? Or are you going to keep it?
I'm going to keep it.
Okay. And if you were to describe the trip in one word to them, what one word would you say?
Chicken nuggets.
Is that what you had for lunch? Because we had a really good lunch too, right?
Yes.
You had chicken nuggets for lunch? Nice.
And french fries.
Oh, and french fries. And the fries were good?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, well, thanks so much for being
Also, Space Mountain almost made me pee-pee in my pants.
Oh, I think me too a little bit. So, well, you know, thanks for being my travel buddy. It's been really fun.
Yes.
All right, thanks so much. And again, we've got all the pictures and everything at dreams.jbonair.com. Thanks so much, Preston.
Okay, and maybe. Bye.
This portion of The Scribble is brought to you by PutDownYourDamnPhone.com. If you know someone who can't put down their mobile device, you've probably told them to do this before. Have a laugh at their expense, or maybe even your own if you're addicted to your cell phone. Check out the book Put Down Your Damn Phone already at PutDownYourDamnPhone.com or on Amazon and iTunes. So as the trip wrapped up, of course the kids were all beat, so I had to find a grown-up to talk to, and I found Bev Watson. She's the president of Dreams Take Flight, and I got the inside scoop as to how the whole organization works and why it's been such a great success over all these years. Let's join me now, live on the airplane, just outside of Orlando, heading back to Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Jeremy Bradley here, back, not in Orlando anymore, though not that far, we just took off a few minutes ago. Dreams Take Flight, Air Canada's amazing day for kids, and I'm joined by a VIP. I actually just snuck my way into first class, I should point out. Bev Watson, president, right?
Yes, I'm president.
Well, thank you so much for having us on the trip again. This has been incredible.
Oh, no, it's our pleasure. It's good to know that people tell other people about us.
Are you losing your voice? Were you screaming on the rides all day? Are you losing your voice?
No, it's just a little bit.
Okay.
So splash.
Oh my God, I'm still wet. Let's rewind, though. I know, we've been talking to the kids all day about what they've been doing. We talked with one of the moms at the airport this morning. Sum up the Dreams Take Flight experience for kids. What are they doing?
They get up very early in the morning. They get on a plane, which most of them have never been on before, with complete strangers. They meet us 2 weeks before the flight.
Right.
And then they come to the airport, get a shirt and shorts, and this year a few more added things. And then they go on a trip like they'll never have again in their lives.
And they get some VIP treatment because they get right to the front of the lines.
Oh,
of the
yeah,
lines.
there's no waiting. Disney's good.
Yeah, no, you were talking about, so the meet and greet that happened a couple of weeks ago, I think that's really important because the parents are meeting the group leaders and then the other kids as well,
exactly.
and seeing what's going on.
Part of the things that we're asking them to give their children up for a day with perfect strangers, and they want to know what's going on. So we may have a presentation, and we just sort of say what the day's about and how it works, and what to expect. And,
so you were saying that some of these kids have never been on a plane before. Exactly. Some of these parents, though, have never been away from their kids for a day.
No.
So that's huge.
Yes.
And they're leaving the country.
Right, yeah.
It's
going to a nice warm spot.
It's one step further. Well, I know, I got a bit of sun. We've got those pictures on our website. Again, it's dreams.jbonair.com. So, I know there's always a call for donations and support. You've got some really good corporate sponsors. We should give a shout out to them.
We do, yes. The Air Canada Foundation is a wonderful sponsor. Bentley's Canada is a wonderful sponsor. Party City, which is in Manitoba, but they give it on a national basis. We have so many Crocs, give shoes for all the kids across Canada. So it's really, really good.
Yeah.
We have some great corporate
But we
sponsors.
also need support from just the general public as well, right? They can contribute.
Yes, definitely.
So how can people do that?
They can go to the website and see the address to send it to. They can send checks or PayPal and donate to Dreams.
Now, one of the cool things about this is that we departed from Winnipeg, but this is a nationwide adventure, right?
Yes, there's 8 chapters across Canada. We have Halifax, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton, and Vancouver.
That's awesome.
So, and some of them go to Disneyland, and some of them go to Disney World.
Right. Okay, so your favorite ride then? You were on the rides today?
I went on a couple. I really like the new Seven Dwarfs ride. That was really good. And of course, Splash Mountain and Mickey's PhilharMagic is my favorite, absolute favorite.
That's a really cool, yeah. And Splash Mountain, I think we went on that about 4 times today. The kids wanted to go again and again and again. There's one other thing that I need to ask, and I've been wanting to do this all day. Can I ding the call button about 10 times? Because that's just something that I've wanted to do.
Rosa.
Oh no. Oh.
He wants to know if he can ding the call button 10 times.
Hey, I've earned it. Rosa, I want you to tell them. Now we have pictures of this, Rosa. I need you to tell everybody that I was a trooper on the way to Orlando. What did I do?
You're an amazing trooper, and he actually put the apron on and no shorts.
Well, no. Wait a second here.
Wait, he had his shorts on.
They were both. Now you're starting rumors. I'm dinging at 50. Where's the button up here in first class? Where do I? No, okay, all right. But again, thank you so much. And we've got all the pictures and everything on our website, dreams.jbonair.com. I'm going to let you get to sleep because I know you want to take a nap.
I had too much stuff to do.
No, that's true. Well, thanks so much again, Biff. We appreciate it.
Thanks for that report, JB. I'm laughing because the whole Live from Orlando thing worked on the radio. 2 hours, we cut in every 15 minutes, give you an update about what's going on. I was tweeting all day. But for a 30-minute, all-talking podcast, it is sort of weird to go from Winnipeg to Orlando to Winnipeg in that 30 minutes. Logistically, it's just sort of funny. So I thank you for tolerating it and listening to it, now 29 minutes into the show. Now, in case you missed last week's broadcast, we were at the meet and greet for Dreams Take Flight, as we just heard Bev talking about, and I got a chance to speak with Fred Penner, a childhood performer of mine. He's still 40 years making music, and so you can go to thescribbleshow.com or check it out on iTunes or SoundCloud and hear my interview with a childhood idol of mine, Fred Penner. I want to thank Air Canada and Dreams Take Flight. DreamsTakeFlight.ca is the website if you want to participate in donating, finding out how maybe your kids, or you could nominate kids to be part of the program. I highly recommend you reach out to the organization. Great cause. Thanks again for having us. Dreams.jbonair.com. I will talk to you next time here on The Scribble. Bye-bye, everybody.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.
If you want some real heat, give your mind